Greetings. Do a sound check real quick. Hello. Sound check. Do we have decent sound? Do we have decent sound? Hello, do we have sound? We have decent sound. Yeah. I think we wanted Facebook, not Blogger. Anybody here? Hello, who's here? How hot is it here? It's been around 100. It's actually been, the temperature's been kind of low. It hasn't gotten to 110. It's mostly been, it hasn't gotten to 100 every day. It's just been very dry. We haven't had near enough rain. I'm going to be reading an article in a moment. When some more people show up, I'll start. For now, I'm just trying to let people know I'm online and get them to come and join us. Anyway, the topic for tonight is transgender kids, mainly. Trans kids are amazing, and people who say that transgender kids should not be allowed to make these sorts of decisions for themselves and choose their gender and blah, 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 and they can't know about their sexuality and all that other happy horse shit. Fuck you, you're ignorant assholes. That's where my head's at tonight. I'm real pissed about this article. I'm really feeling empowered by the solidarity and the respect I'm getting, and the solidarity in the community behind this. The moms and the providers are jumping up with us, standing strong on what's really real about this. So that I'll just read it. Let me find that. Let me find that thread of hers. There's a psychologist who is in private practice, who is a gender specialist in transgender care. I'm not sure where she's born. She's got an Eastern European accent. She's a lovely lady, real sweet lady. Her name is Natalia P. Zhikareva. And I believe that she's like, you know, Ukrainian, someone of that kind of in through there. And she calls herself Dr. Z is her channel. And boy, she's just a sweetheart and knows her shit. So here she's asked a question of her listeners. How many people are her readers? How many people regret transitioning? Someone recently asked you. Video with answers coming up this Friday. She's so sweet. So here she is. She's polling us on Facebook so that she can put together a presentation for YouTube. She's a wonderful woman. And you know, here everybody's real happy, no regrets, no regrets. I probably should add a little something, because the only negative, well, I'll get to my comment. There's no regrets. Trans men, trans women, no regrets. Everybody's happier and big and shit. They're just, it just is such a life-changing thing. Here's someone transitioning, saved my life. It's still a rocky road, but I don't regret it at all. Honestly, it was a dream come true for me. It truly saved my life. So here's someone said, I saw a documentary about 3 older folks who regretted transitioning, but it kind of felt like propaganda, though. And my response is, oh, and here's somebody who saved me the trouble of saying something. My response is a very small percentage of people that have regrets, and all of them had other behavioral health issues. Their poster child, Walt Heyer, was never even transgender in the first place, but had some kind of dissociative disorder. Here's someone come in behind me. She says, yes, Walt is incredibly damaging to the community and interfering with honest conversations about this. The alt-right and Family Research Council weaponized his story. She could just right on, bam, right on target behind me. And then my direct response to Dr. Z was, in the studies that I've read and my experience in the support groups, the satisfaction rate for surgery is in the mid-90s, and HRT approaches 100%. It's been found that the majority of the people who detransition do it because of social pressures, not because they don't feel like they're transgender anymore. Finally, living out loud and getting the right hormones into my brain has certainly changed my life in no way but better. And the thing that needs also to be said here is that on the surgeries, on the GCS, the bottom surgery, all of the, I've never seen anybody express regret over doing it. Bottom surgery were botched jobs and poor post-operative care. But you know, having a vagina instead of a penis is something that everybody I know is real happy about it. But it's hard for me, because my whole, you know, my whole reality is in the future. I just, that's what I did. I just, okay, it's wrong here now, and I'm gonna just do what I need to do to bring on the golden age. And I'm living there, you know. So it's I can't let myself envy these women, because they're not getting they're not getting what I'm promised, for one thing. But they're all doing it. Oh boy. Amazing trans kids. Here's Emily Fishbaugh. Her whole transition from the time she was a little kid has been in the public, and she just had her GCS a week or two ago. And boy, these kids, you know, I mean, in the old days, they'd be out there. The pre-ops would be out there, and there'd be the support groups, and everybody would be jibber jabbering with each other, and you know, just mutual, you know, a lot of ass pats and hugs and shit, and then they'd get their surgery and disappear. They're still scratching their heads over one real popular one by the name of Aubrey Frost. She just boof. This is from the early days of the public internet, like 1999. And now, boy, they're right up to it, all the way through it. The broadcast from the waiting room and broadcast from the recovery room, and oh boy, I remember. I shouldn't say that. I definitely shouldn't say her name. A couple of years ago, a prominent advocate got hers done, and like as soon as it healed up enough to show a picture of it, she sure the fuck did. Into a just a regular sport group. It wasn't a porn picture or anything. It was just here's my new coochie. Anyway, my point. Well, my main feeling on this. Oh well, let me just slow down. I'm starting to babble. See who's here. Okay, well, Tommy's dog is gone. I'm about to give you a wrench, dude. Just deal with these fuckheads, please. Hi, Cloud Zach. Hello, Michelle. I don't recognize your name, but anyway, we're ranting about how trans kids are amazing and how the people that think they shouldn't be allowed to be trans kids are assholes. That's the main focus of the rant right now. Let me, since Autist asked about why is Mario Lopez an asshole, let me read it to you. This was what I've been kind of like stalling. I was reading this shit. I never really read it. I just scanned it enough to know, like, holy fuck, look at this shit. Oh, where is it? Boy, I've been busy tonight, haven't I? Where the fuck is it? There we go. I don't think I'm going to stay on very long either. I'm pretty tired. I didn't get a nap today. I was out in the hot sun. Well, I didn't even hot. It was getting ready to rain. It was really shitty weather today. Okay, well, here's Mario. I don't even know who the fuck this guy is. Okay, he's a TV actor and TV host. Became well. Oh God. So here's Mario, actor and TV host, who became well known for his role as A.C. Slater in the 90s era teen series Saved by the Bell. Criticized. Oh, so he was a child actor who's now a grown-up TV show host. Criticized the parents of transgender children during his appearance on the Candace Owens show, saying that allowing kids to assert their gender at a young age may be dangerous and have repercussions later on. Well, let's like, okay, what are the repercussions? What are the dangers? Kid with a penis deciding he's going to be a girl. What are the repercussions? Where are the dangers? Forcing the kids to conform to the expectations of their what they were assigned at birth. That's dangerous, and that has repercussions. Lots of repercussions later. Might end up burying the kid. Lots of them end up burying kids. As a matter of fact, my favorite mama bears in the world, Debbie Jackson and Kathy Blazer, both of them, and I've heard it from others. It's like I had a choice. I was faced with a choice of either like gaining a daughter or losing the son, this losing a son thing. It's like I had a choice between like letting the kid do it or letting the kid kill himself. It was obvious to them that the kid was not going to be able to survive without being allowed to be themselves. Obvious to these people. And the doctors are the ones that made it possible, that taught them that, realized it. They started to realize it in the mid-90s. So anyway, let's get back to this asshole, because they're both assholes. This Candace Owens, another asshole. So, though the interview originally took place in June of this year, his comments have only recently received greater attention. The discussion kicked off when Owens, a pro-Trump supporter who is conservative commentator and director of communications for Turning Point USA, which is probably a bunch of fucking religious fanatics, mentioned that Charlize Theron's 7-year-old child recently identified as transgender, which, like, everybody in the community is like, way to go, Mama Bear, good for you. And here's a conservative asshole. One of the weirder trends for me, at least to try to process, is this new trend where celebrities are coming out and saying that their child is picking their gender. The things that come out of children's mouths, they say whatever in the moment. You don't know what they've seen on TV, what got in their head, or I've heard children say they were mermaids. I've had children say they could fly and jump off of a staircase, and thank God I caught him because he thought he could be Superman. So I'm just trying to understand this new Hollywood mentality now where they think they just have the mental authority. And Lopez responds, oh, that's Owens. This is Owens talking this shit. Lopez comes in. I'm trying to understand it myself. Please don't let me into that hole. I'm kind of blown away too. Look, I'm never one to tell anyone how to parent their kids. And I always say, if you come from a place of love, you really can't go wrong. At the same time, my God, if you're 3 years old and you're saying that you're feeling a certain way, or you think you're a boy or a girl, whatever the case may be, I think it's just dangerous as a parent to make that determination. Well, then, okay, then you're going to be a boy or a girl. Whatever the case may be, it's sort of alarming. And my gosh, I just think about the repercussions later on. Yeah, well, my gosh, the pediatricians and child psychologists have been thinking about the repercussions straight along and have been observing the results. Well, first of all, it's well known that a child's gender identity, their self-identity of gender, forms between the time they're 3 and they're 8. Most transgender kids, by the time puberty, most transgender people I know knew well, before they hit puberty. I know a few people that are different stories than that, but most of them always at least knew that there was something going on before puberty, even if they didn't act on it until, like I did, until I was 60. That's a problem within the transgender community where they question your intentions of the late transitioners. It's like, well, how did you live with a penis all those years? It's, well, I beat it a lot. But I'm a female with a penis. That's what I am. That's what I've always been. I'm no different than I was when I was 4 years old, when I realized that, oh, fuck, they're shaving my head. They're making me wear pants. They won't let me wear a dress. They're going to hit me if I cry too much. I was 4 years old. I knew then. I knew. It wasn't a phase. It was something I had to learn to live with nobody until I was 60 years old. Well, I was a little younger than that, but nobody that I could really be myself with that understood what was going on. I had to live with this all by myself. And here's this asshole telling the world that he thinks that it's important to not allow that child to be themselves. When I know from my own experience and seeing the experiences of these amazing trans kids, a lot of them look a lot like I did when I was little too. Drives me fucking nuts. So the one I saw today was Hunter Schafer, that I found out about her for the first time. Oh, just an amazing kid. She and her family, her father is a Presbyterian minister in North Carolina, Presbyterian pastor. So they kept her. That's probably why I never heard of her before. They kept her transition pretty low key. And she's been modeling with all the top agencies in the world, Dion, Gucci, and the rest of them. And then she just got her acting debut. They signed her on as the lead in Euphoria, and she worked with the show creator to make sure that the storyline. And they just represent millions of other assholes that are in transgender kids' faces all over the fucking world. First, the Trans Pride Parade in Bialystok this year, they had it, and the Cardinal spoke up, condemning it, denouncing it, said not in the square. He can't be. And all of the low-life haters, all the neo-fascists come out, lining the parade route, screaming obscenities at these people and throwing rotten tomatoes and eggs at them. And fortunately, the police were able to keep the violence, the actual physical assault. No, I don't think there were any injuries to speak of. I don't remember seeing anything of that. I know in Detroit they managed to keep the queers and the Nazis off each other. There were no arrests or anything like that. Nobody went to the hospital. But this got to stop. They kill it's open season on sex workers in some places. Trans sex workers, Indonesia, Brazil, Mexico. Holy shit. What else can I say? I guess I should check in and see what anybody else is saying here. Completely inappropriate question to ask a transgender person. Sexual reassignment surgery. It's also what you call it? It's obsolete. It's gender confirmation surgery or gender affirmation procedure. Who's this CNC Scotty clown? You don't have to jump on that kind of shit. We'll let this idiot, don't get too heavy-handed. Don't get too heavy-handed. Let it, unless, if it's really obvious what they're up to, just nail it. If it's one of the Kiwi farmers getting ugly, one like that Tommy's dog asshole. But somebody just says something like tomfoolery, don't worry about it until they escalate. So anyway, where was I? Getting all emotional about this shit. Oh, it's just horrible, because it's easy for me to do because here I am in Tucson, and everybody manages me everywhere I go. And if they give me a slur, all I got to do is say no, I'm not a guy, and I usually don't even have to reveal it on trans. They're like, oh, okay, and a lot of them apologize. But anyway, back to Tiananmen Square. That's an entirely inappropriate question that you should never ask a transgender person. Now, I happen to be public about my status because I'm a special case. I'm waiting on the ancient ascended, on the ascended ancestors to come bring the right medicine back for me. I don't even have my ears pierced. Yeah, CNC Scotty. We don't put up with dumb shit around here. If you got something interesting to say, say it. If you just want to be an asshole, you're out of here. That's the way I play this channel. This is not anything like the Kiwi farmers or any of these other idiots. See, I don't know. Your question doesn't even make sense. I have never earned money as a sex worker. I've never really tried. I've quoted ridiculous prices to discourage people, but I never really tried to make money selling sex. No. Anyway, let's get back to this article. Owens compared it to her tomboy phase when she wore boys' clothes and put on a deeper voice. And you can't make a decision about your sexuality when you're 3 years old. No, you don't make the decision about your sexuality. Kids don't even know what the thing's for except to pee with. at that age. But there's so much more to gender than just sex, you stupid fucking bimbo. She also stated that if parents shave their kids' heads once they announce their transgender identity, that may make them more depressed once they go through puberty and change their minds. That just doesn't make any sense. She blamed over-tolerance and over-acceptance for the trend. I blame for people like mine. I think I talked about it in one of the things I wrote today too. Said what was I going to say? Oh, for the adults. For us, it was, seeing that it was safe to be transgender in public. We're seeing happy trans kids. We're seeing trans people like, Janet Mock and Laverne Cox and them succeeding. There's always been, like, for me, my main role model in the community is Lynn Conway, the microprocessor engineer. She's just amazing. We're seeing the first generation of happy kids and well-adjusted trans adults that are able to live normal lives. What the fuck, people? You're trying to say this shouldn't be? What the fuck is wrong with these people anyway? Owens conflates gender identity and sexual orientation in her comments, and it's obvious that she and Lopez don't have the facts. Psychological experts say that a child can only be understood as actually trans when their trans identity is insistent, consistent, and persistent. That's the three key words. That's what separates the real trans kids from the kids going through a phase. Insistent, consistent, and persistent. So no medical or mental health expert would immediately declare a child as trans after they said, I'm a girl or boy once. A child's trans identity would have to be made repeatedly against claims to the contrary and over a long period of time. Also, while parents of trans children allow their kids to express their gender identity at a young age, most don't start giving their kids hormone blockers until puberty. I don't think you can even get them until the kids are like at least 11. That way, they could Tanner stage 2 is when they start the blockers. That way, they can hold off the physical effects of their sex until they're more certain of their gender identity. Trans children also often see psychologists to make absolutely certain of their gender before any permanent changes begin and later in life. In the past, Owens told CPAC attendees that because she has never been a slave in this country, racism is over. She also defended Adolf Hitler, saying he wasn't a nationalist like Trump. He was a globalist. Here's a video. I don't even want to see this. This is so just disgusting. The two of them, misinformed. Okay, Chris Doe could be tossed. Yeah, he's gone. We get him out of here. So anyway, that's where my head's at tonight. People who deny the validity of transgender people are assholes. Trans kids are amazing. Okay, here's what Dr. Z has to say to Mario. Dr. Z shared my post. She says, okay, hear me out. I wish I could do her accent. She's got a beautiful Eastern European accent, and she's got these big. She, she's got like big geek glasses. She's real. She's got a real. I don't know how to describe her. I would. She's got big ass glasses, dark haired lady, nice, just real pretty European Eastern Europe, kind, compassionate person, and very knowledgeable what she's talking about. Okay, hear me out. Firstly, I don't work with kids as it is a specialty on its own. I only work with adult, transgender, diverse adults to be exact. It is a very specific niche. Given my 10 plus years of experience within this niche, even I don't feel qualified to make comments about trans kids. Now, I know we all have opinions. That's fantastic. However, when you are a public figure, have fans, and can actually influence people, your opinions do matter. What you say carries ethical responsibility. And if you're not qualified to speak on the topic, just don't. It's easy. It's simple. Mario, here is a tip. Next time, just say the truth. I don't really know much about this, nor am I qualified to give an opinion. Okay, you did it. Thank you. See what else is going on. Okay, we're cool. We're caught up there. What's going on here? Anybody? Now, Chris Doe needs to be like hidden from the channel completely. That dude is like fucking total troll. Totally useless, mean, stupid asshole. I see we don't have anybody here to speak of. I pretty much run out of what I wanted to say. Let me make sure, see if there's anything else I wanted to on my wall. I mean, I've been busy at this tonight. I've had a busy night tonight. It happened a couple of days ago, but I just found out about it tonight. This is 50 years since the Smothers Brothers were fired by CBS, and they celebrated that by making a donation appearance to donate some artifacts from the show and their careers to the National Comedy Museum. So we've been on a Smothers Brothers jag tonight. Another Florida deputy arrested for arresting people on false drug charges. And then we got the pink seesaws. Somebody built a teeter-totter across or underneath the wall so that the Mexican and American kids could play with each other. Painted it pink. Okay, here's if there is even one homeless child in America, we have no room for illegal aliens, and that's scratched out and replaced with a $700 billion military budget. I wasn't even starting a day. It was only 6 hours ago. How about that? Yeah, in one of the groups, somebody had played such a beautiful statement about passing privilege. Hunter Schafer, she's a high fashion model, worked for all the big designers, every last Versace, all of them. And she was being interviewed about something, and this was just a short clip where she was talking about, well, yeah, and I'm pretty and all that, and opens doors, and I really wish that doors like this would be open for the whole community. It's just such a beautiful statement about this passing privilege and how if you like, if you're okay with like real pretty transgender women like her, you should be okay with us ugly people too. You know, you should learn to appreciate what we are, and accept us for what we are, and let us live our lives, and we're a benefit to your lives, where there's magnificent art and scientific work. You're every single one of you is should be thanking Lynn Conway, because one of the critical core components of everybody's instruments was invented by her. Laverne Cox just got herself in with some kind of important women's thing or something or other, spread in Vogue this month. The hell out. There's just been all sorts. So hard to keep up with the good news because there's so much bad news coming at us all the time. So it's hard to watch what everybody's doing and having happen when you have so much of this awful shit in your news feed every day. And it's not just about transgender people. I get awful shit about everywhere. You know, I'm very, I'm a rainbow hippie. Okay. Now that's not the same as the rainbow family of living light. And I talked about that this week too with the natives. I'm one of the rainbow hippies that's been more associated with the native people than the hippy dippy, swilly gypsies running around the country, staying stoned and squatting in the woods. That's not the rainbow hippies. That's the rainbow family. And that's a dangerous drug cult. Two different things. I want to make it real clear that I was never a member of the Rainbow Family of Living Light, because there is no way to be a member of the Rainbow Family of Living Light. You're either there or you're not. If you're talking about it any place other than there, it's not valid as anything real about the Rainbow Family except your own experience. That's the Rainbow Family. There are no members. And for many years, I was associated with them and doing something called focalizing, which is just basically just, being a hub for the information, sharing, gathering dates and times and places and shit. And that's really my only association with the family. And I always had. I never went to all that many gatherings because it just wasn't right for me. I wasn't finding the spirit I was seeking in a crowd, especially not a crowd that was, engaged in all sorts of, swilly behavior. I also was like, here I was in the woods, honor bound not to be spending money, not to be selling things on one of the best selling days of the year, surrounded by all the scammers that polluted the venues I worked at all year, selling things. So I was like, no, that's not working. And I haven't been anywhere near it since 1999. I haven't been able to get anybody I know to go there with me. They won't. They won't have ever. A lot of people never had anything to do with it. Wouldn't want to have anything to do with it. It's a lie. It's a big lie. It's a bunch of drug dealers, drug dealing and sex slaving. Well, hey, Bob Dog, what's happening, man? Yeah, it's these I don't know what to call them. All these like I don't know. They got this peace and love thing going, and just like it's talk. When it comes time to walk that talk, it's all really it's all kinds of control freaks, and all kinds of violent spouse abuse is rampant around it. I've seen a lot of that, and I've had a lot of credible witness of it. There's the older brothers, the guru types are notorious for sweet talking women and filling them full of LSD and then fucking the shit out of them and leaving them with a case of herpes. Yeah, one of the older brothers in Venice when I first hit the beach. Oh boy, he was like that. And he had real bad herpes. He's like he showed me his herpes sores one. I didn't see him on his dick. He was showing me on it, put it on his hands and shit. I'm like, oh boy. And we picked we picked some sister up at the brig and brought her back to this pad. And and we were both gonna do her, and he's in there. No. Before they threw me out of the group, they had one of the AMDs attack me in the group and got me thrown out. That's okay. I was probably going to leave anyway because I wasn't like real thrilled with what was happening there. I've come to the point where anybody who's a long-time gatherer, has been gathering for a long time, is either totally ignorant of the drug dealing or is complicit in it. One or the other. They can't. It's 40 some odd years of the same shit. The old friends meet, around spring council time. They meet somewhere to do the big transactions, and then swing it out at the gathering, or all over the country after the gathering. The Chicago Circle had the hash deal, the hash distribution contract with the guys who were taking care of it in Fort Knox. Or one sister used to go. She'd load up. She had a station wagon, go out on tour, and her first stop would be at Fort Knox to fill up on a couple of suitcases full of tap candy hash. And she just distributed, like, she'd go to East Coast and down and around and back up through New Orleans and shit, and Denver and back down through Minneapolis back to Chicago, and they should do that 4 times a year. So they want to tell me I'm like delusional and shit, or just have vendetta against it. And just no, man, I fucking witnessed all this shit. I transported the acid from San Francisco back down to Topanga Canyon for the last acid test party in 1982. That was my introduction to the scene. So I hit the beach with a saxophone in the car, and instantly this guy with the herpes jumps on board. He's like, "Oh, let's go to San Francisco and get some spin." So that was my first trip too. I'd avoided it in the '60s. I was like, no, these guys are jumping out of windows and shit. And I was okay with weed. Fine with weed. I've always weed. Between weed and tobacco, I'm good. Give me a glass of water, weed, and tobacco, and I'm good for a week. I don't need anything else. It's water, weed, and tobacco. And I just, it was Timothy Leary and the set and setting and all that happy shit. And I just waited until the right time and place, and it happened. And it was a wonderful experience for the first few days. It got weird though. we were tripping every day for a while there. And it was about 3 months before I finally was like, "Oh no, I can't be doing this every day. This is ridiculous." Took a bucket of blood on the sidewalk to do it too. And then the guy that would calm us down the night we found the bucket of blood, 2 days later, he went over a cliff up north because somebody cut the brake line on his VW bus. And I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm done. So anyway, moving right along. Next. Oh, boring. One of the sisters is nursing 2 orphan baby bunnies that were only a couple of days old. She's hand feeding them and shit. And uh, let's see what Anunnaki said. Yeah, no, it's quiet there. Quiet here too, guys. I'm about run out of material for tonight. I'm on the cuff at the moment. See if I can find anything interesting, or if there's anything on the topic. Oh, I know. Well, let me find Kathy Blazer's statement and read that. And I made an important comment to her statement too. Kathy is a transparent. She's got, I think she's got 2 gender nonconforming kids. I forgot. I know she's got at least one. And she's involved with the National Center for Transgender Equality out of Indianapolis. So Kathy's rap, right here is Kathy's rap. There's Kathy's rap. She was just at some big conference in Philadelphia. I'm all hopped up on equality and affirming allyship from the Philadelphia Trans Wellness Conference. I apologize for the extremely blunt, unfiltered language. Let's talk a little about the power of words. This is a full-on TED Talk rant on affirming language, so buckle up, y'all. It's about to get bumpy in here. Side note, this is not about anyone on my friends list, nor is it reflective of any person actually trying to affirm a GSM, gender, sexuality, minority person. I don't like that GSM. I like GNC, gender nonconforming. But I don't know. It's the oppression Olympics going on. Everybody, everybody's trying to prove that we're more oppressed than you. We're a more marginalized minority than you are. This is 2019, not 1919, not 1949, not even 1979. Are we not to the point that we as a people can understand the power of words, or the fact that hate speech is bad? Literally, the word hate is in the title. Words matter a lot. Names and pronouns matter a lot. Outing someone as transgender or non-binary without consent is a literal act of violence against that GSM person. Purposely using a person's dead name and pronouns when they're not around is not okay. These are, and I cannot emphasize this enough, not small things or minor inconveniences. It is damaging. It is harmful, dehumanizing, humiliating, belittling, and quite frankly, abuse. No room for discussion on this, period. If someone you knew for years as one name and pronoun asks you to use a different name and pronoun, yes, it can absolutely be challenging to make switch. Mistakes will happen, but that's not what this post is about. If one were to accidentally spit out the wrong name or pronoun, the solution is not hard. It goes a little something like this. Correct yourself with the proper affirming name or pronoun. I'm sorry, I'll do better in the future. Then embrace yourself for this part. Actually do better in the future. I have some name and pronoun games that can help give practice to affirming language, but should anybody available on request. It is not the marginalized minority's responsibility to educate you. It is, and this might come as a shocker, you as the not disenfranchised person's responsibility to educate yourself and not wallow in willful ignorance. It can be triggering and damaging to the GSM person to have to expel the emotional energy to educate the other person. I can't tell you how much of a difference it is for me to be able to go through a day and not have to even reveal that I'm transgender most days, compared to the emotional drain of a day when I have to like convince somebody that I'm not a guy. Totally, it's a pain in the ass, They and some of the authors they like to joke about how we have to be experts in endocrinology and child psychology and genetics and all sorts of shit just to be able to validate our identities. Have enough respect or courtesy and courtesy to the GSM person existence to Google men for 5 damn minutes and read for 5 damn minutes, or ask me. I'm only a GSM ally, but I'm loud and opinionated and like to hear myself talk. Also, I can spare the spoons. I'm not sure what that means. The GSM person might not. There are a million websites and groups out there that are willing to take the time and emotional energy to educate others. All it takes is the smallest effort to access those. Also, maybe don't just lay the responsibility of your own failings on the GSM person. It isn't their fault. You stuck your foot in the problematic horseshit pile of misgendering. It's yours. Take accountability, own it, and then fix it. Or at least try. Don't attempt to cut a GSM person off from those they feel safe with, just to cover your own shortfalling. I.e., don't tell so-and-so what I said, or don't go to HR principal, boss, parent with this. First, that is classic abuser lingo right there, just saying. Second, it's dangerous, gatekeeping, and never okay. Transition can be isolating all on its own. Removing people and places that the GSM person feels safe with is just shitty. Don't do it. Perfect illustration of my entire post. We got a Rottweiler puppy 2 weeks ago. Our last Rottie was a male. I've shown many pictures of our puppy, female, and many people have said, "Oh my God, she is so cute. He is so cute," because she is cute, damn it. My response is, she is a girl. Her name is Olivia Rose. We call her Ollie. Every single person has said, "Oh, sorry, she is adorable." She looks like an Ollie. And then they never misgender her again. Bam, that easy. Being affirming to a GSM person does require a small amount of effort on the part of others. Yet, yes, that can be slightly difficult or inconvenient. You know what else is difficult and inconvenient? Having to fight every day of your life to be acknowledged as a person and validated while dealing with transition, gender dysphoria, discrimination, and ignorance. Knowing better means doing better. Loving unicorns, Cappy. So I called her out on this line. I'm only a GSM ally, but I'm loud and opinionated and like to hear myself talk. I said, I have to take exception to you labeling yourself this way. You're the parent of a transgender child. That's the flesh of your flesh you're standing up for. That's nothing like a cisgender classmate, neighbor, or co-worker who's an ally. We've always had them for allies. You're the first generation of parents to accept your trans kids. That's a world-changing kind of special. You're special. All the parents of trans kids I know are special. You're not just allies, you're trans parents. And then I put in a link to the thing about Bialystok. That was just horrible what happened there. And I hope this doesn't darken your message about this, but I think all my siblings and their allies need to know what happened at Bialystok at the first Pride celebration and understand how important it is to follow the advice of community advocates like yourself so that something like that will never happen here. And then for her response to me, and fuck you to everybody that says that everybody hates me and everybody in the community thinks I'm an idiot and yada, all that shit. Fuck you. Listen to what Kathy said back to me. I try to stay in my lane as much as possible as an ally and a parent. I fail a lot of times because, again, I'm loud and I like to hear myself talk. But too many times have I seen ally voices being heard over actual GSM voices. I try not to be that person. I'm here to listen, validate, lift up, and use my cishet white privilege to do a little good. Yes, I have men right here next to my kids fighting the good fight for over a decade, but they live the fight every day just by being. I like the transparent moniker. I'm not going to lie. Mad love to you, lady, today and always. Fuck you, haters. You're ignorant assholes. You hate on people to build your own self-esteem up, to build up your own fucking self-worth, making somebody feel bad just because you hate yourself. You suck. Uh-oh, what's Bob Dog been saying? How in the fuck did Chris Doe get a fucking wrench? What's going on here? Chris Doe is done. I see it. I don't know how that happened. Let's see if I can get rid of from the whole channel. It doesn't seem I was able to take the wrench away. Looks like we got him off the channel. I have no idea how that happened. I have no idea how that happened. He didn't ban people. He timed people out. They should be coming back. I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention. Well, thanks for subscribing, Scotty. Anybody back? Oh boy. Ay, 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 ay. No, it's sitting at the post office though. They couldn't. I went there today and I forgot to bring the tracking number with me, and they couldn't find it, so I got to go back in the morning. Why did you time out Scotty? What's going on here? Oh, do I need to block you? My name's not Tom. My name's not Thomas. I don't need subscribers who are assholes. My connection is unstable. So that's crazy. Well, he timed Cloudsack, Michelle, everybody. He timed everybody out. What a piece of shit. What a fucking piece of shit. What is wrong with these people? What? Oh, fuck no. Are you kidding? Oh, he did. Did he? Well, he didn't dump the whole box. Um, yeah, he come walked up while I wasn't looking and dropped the guy's a fucking coward. Oh man, he's nuts. He's totally nuts. You give me a link to that video. I need to prove intent to the cops. I haven't really talked to the cops about it. You know, I talked to the guys on the street. It's mostly been good. You know, uh, it goes. It goes. I do a lot of writing, and I'm sharing a lot of news, commentary on the news, doing a lot of counseling work with people in the support groups. Involved in the political discussions about Palestine, and I'm networking with the. Give me a link to the channel, please. I'll just go look on his channel and see what he's got there now. Basically, I write part of the day, and I'm out roaming around part of the day playing music and picking trash. That's pretty much my life. There's a lot of live music shows to go see here. The saga meetings once a month, or once a week, for a couple times a month on Mondays is what it comes out to. There's different subgroups in saga that meet on different Mondays. It's my life goes on. Right now, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to. Not really. I was talking about that today. I made a post in my group about dumpster diving, coast to coast. It's when I moved totally into a much lower income area. So, like, there's nowhere near the kind of trash. Nothing that's useful gets thrown away, and the foodstuffs that get thrown away are nowhere near the quality or the quantities that I was getting over by the university. So my income on busking has been kind of tight. They're having trouble with the connection. Busking and assholes down below. They just tell anymore. So I've had the tunnel to myself the last few weeks, but it's hotter than snot, and there aren't that many people out. And the ones that, oh hell yeah, shit, and we like doing the panda. Panda's fun to. I mean, if you're hungry and you want to get food for a couple of days, panda's good. I haven't really, though, anywhere in town except around the student housing, and yuppies housing, yuppie household trash. I haven't really found, like, no stores or anything like that are, constantly shrinking perfectly good shit and tossing it out. I haven't found anything like that around town at all. There's plenty of good restaurant dumpsters and convenience stores if you want food, but for saleable, things for resale, not there. It's not there except around, from the students and the yuppies. It's the only place I find it. Around here, boy, there ain't nothing worth a fuck to take. I found I found a do-rag today. That was my big score of the day. My big food score of the week was to find this little bee. It was tiny little cantaloupe. It was smaller than a small. It was a honeydew. It was smaller than a cantaloupe. Oh, really? That's good to know. Is there a particular day that they do the shrink? I really really. Ugh, I gotta stop smoking cigarettes. The air's just too shitty. It's making my throat too shitty. The air's been real dusty. It's been too dry. The air's so fucking dusty. A little wind, kick up a little wind, and I'm like. I should refill myself. Aye. Not holding many people's attention tonight. I guess all the people they timed out probably just boogied off. Because they're not here anymore. It's just quadriplegic karate champion. You're obviously Tucsonan. Have we ever met in person? Get rid of some of this. Fuck Mario Lopez. Get rid of that. Come on, I got too many tabs. Oh, close it. Okay, close that. Definitely close that. Oh boy. Well, it is almost August. Get rid of that. Shit. I didn't get that. Well, I'll just close that. Go back there tomorrow when I have the phone. We don't need that. We don't need that. What was that? Okay, nothing going on there. Gender Odyssey is here. Oh boy, YouGov. I've almost got enough for a gift card at YouGov. I got like 23,000 points or something like that. And there's another survey here. Yippee. They send me about one a week. Oh my gosh, Cheryl Palini on MeWe. Why would I want to connect to that pig? I jump out the window. Okay. Let's get back to here and see what's going on. Oh well, Parisa blocks anybody that doesn't like suck up to him. Anybody challenges him, he just blocks them. He's too stupid to be able to debate anybody. John, I'm an intersex transgender person, woman with a penis, if you will. far as I know, it's up. Did anything good from the trash? Hello, hello. Oh, here we go. No, you're not Tucson. No, we've never met. You're from Phoenix. Back and forth with the Gem Show crew. Tell me something. Can you possibly get me hooked up with somebody who would like want to? The deal I had with El Paso that Parisio fucked up was that I would show my stuff in the yard where I could watch over the and help the people buying rough. He loses a lot of sales, retail. He loses all his retail sales in the yard is what happens. So he had me setting up out there. And it was working great for both of us. The first few days I'd made a few $100s for myself and a few thousand for him. And along come Parisio, lying to the fucking promoter and got me thrown out. They had to threaten Mario to get rid of me. And they said, they don't get rid of me, they're going to dump him. I'm going to throw him out. Oh, really? Can you hook? Yes, absolutely. How does it work? What's the name of the crew? You got with they're on the East Coast. Is Wormtown has a big thing going on. But yeah, that's where it's at. I can fill it like a 10 by 10, 40 foot a table. It's I can do it in less, but for my whole spread, it's like 40 feet a table. See, that's all trays. I've just filled table with trays. I'm not familiar with them. I'll have to check into it. I'm cutting. I'm focused on natural material, conflict-free natural material, specifically for people who are serious collectors and energy workers and jewelers that want to work with conflict-free natural material. Cool, because that's really all Real Things has ever been. I've never really advertised. I'm me, and whoever wants to plug in with me is Real Things, and that's us. We've been around since 1985, and I have had some hard times and wasn't anywhere near anything for almost 20 years. I was on the lay low one of my selling points is that everything's individually crafted, that we do not mass produce anything. And we have designs that we, produce in number, but every piece is individually crafted. Okay, I'm not going to show that. I'm just going to grab it and put it in my mailbox. And I can come up with, I think it was like $800 to do Rapper River a couple of years ago. I can come up with the money to pay for space. I'll send you a link. I'll plug in. I'll just plug in, send you a link to where the pictures are. You know, I'm an energy worker myself. You show on 4th Street. 4th Avenue or 4th Street. You know, there's a few people that table stuff, if that's who you're talking about. Uh, I get space easily at Rapper River, but it's got to be paid for by October, or 2/3 of it's got to be paid by October, something like that. I think they need $600 by October. You know, my pad, I live just right off 22nd Street and not very far east of the highway. Cool. I have some tables, and you know, I have, you know, I have a home, 1-bedroom apartment with a big backyard and plenty of parking. Some off street, there's parking. I can park 2 or 3 buses right around here safely during the show. No, I don't have any wheels, but I'm like right at 22nd and 6th Avenue, which is like less than a mile from the, you know, the main, you know, where Wormtown is, for instance, the Howard Johnson's. I'm less than a mile from the Howard Johnson where I'm at, but I don't have any wheels. Night, Autist. Take it easy, man. Thank you. Thanks for helping. Happy day, man. Boy, it's nice to meet you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, you know, I've been doing the show since 1990. I didn't do anything, you know, between 1999 though and 2014. I wasn't here. I had a total wipeout, financial wipeout in the summer of 1999, and I had a near fatal accident just before Christmas in 1999. I was laid up for a couple of years, and just I never really came out of that funk until I got the fuck away from Austin, got here, and was able to start living authentically. I lived behind a beard all my life, and had to, you know, fake being a guy, and it wasn't easy, and I was real crazy, and it was easy to get me to be violent. Yeah, I don't know. I just it took me until 2014, you know, after the accident and after the wipeout. It took me until 2014 to get my shit back together again, enough to be able to do shows. Well, Tucson is amazing for queers, just unbelievably trans friendly here. We've been, you know, they got the anti-discrimination ordinance for the last 20 years, and we're part of the landscape. That's more dangerous to be openly transphobic than to be transgender in public, because the onlookers are going to jump in. Cops, government workers, everybody just like instantly respectful of your identity. If they read you as male up front, they adjust, bam, like that. Lately, if I get misgendered, I hardly ever have to like say any more than, no, I'm not a guy, and they'll apologize and move on and not do it again. I'm so grateful not to be exposed to the shit that other gender non-conforming people are exposed to everywhere else. It's fucking open season on them in some places. Like, you get killed. And some places in America, you know, one of my old friends, has gone through some real hard times, and she's found herself in Van Nuys right now, and she can't hardly go walking on the street because people throw rocks and bottles at her, scream obscenities at her just for going to the fucking store. That's in America that's happening. This is terrible. There a couple of lesbians got beat up a few weeks ago in New York because it was and this happened in Kentucky a couple of years ago too, where it's like, well, you want to act like a man, you got to get your ass kicked like a man, and that's what happened. It's like beat your ass just because they're masculine women. What the fucking crap is that? What's the matter with these people? What it is the Christian ministers stirring them up, talking about how we're the devil spawn and shit like that. That's what happened at Bialystok. The archbishop come out against the gay pride parade, and all the fucking peasants turned out, lined the parade route. It was like to get a march into the gates of hell for the gay people. It's just awful. Yeah, that one. There was a couple of them. There's all kind. There was a triple murder in Detroit, where they just and there was someone got beaten to death in Atlanta, I think it was, just for being queer. It's sick. It's sad. And I'm so grateful to be living in Tucson while all this shit's going on everywhere else. It gives me the strength to be of service to the people in need in other places. Where because I'm not all overstressed all myself. I could put a lot of this kind of energy into anger at the taters and help my siblings. It's just awful everywhere, and places I'm surprised. It was like in Van Nuys that's happening. My God, what's happened? What has happened to this country? Well, Arizona's got some pure shit. It just Phoenix area isn't that great. You probably got a nice little pocket somewhere where you fit in. Tucson, at the southeastern corner, what happened here? One of the reasons why the southeastern part of the state has such wonderful people is that in the late 1970s, as this big migration from the Rust Belt is coming this way, the copper mines closed down, Bisbee, Safford, all around there. And when that happened, the property values tanked. So these poor folk, hippies and shit, were able to come in and they own Bisbee. Poor people own Bisbee, boy. They got more money now, but it was just poor hippies and shit. I do? No, Dylan, you need to be flayed. You're getting reported for a violent threat, and I'm not going to put you on timeout either. I'm going to let you fucking rant. I'll do that, man. I'll do that, man. And since you're leaving and all I got here besides you is fucking idiots, I'm going to leave too. So, Dylan Roof, you go chug some bleach. And if any of you are kiwi farmers, you chug some bleach too. And all you cool people that have been here tonight, thank you. All the people that are cisgender people that appreciate transgender people and love and respect us, thank you too. And you know what? The rest of you fucking haters, namaste, motherfuckers. Happy day. Bye.